Oh, okay. Whoops. Hello, everybody. This is Sword SC2 here yet again with another fun game. Or a game against the streamer. I actually don't know if it was a good game or not. This is me spawning in the top middle of Purity in Industry, and my opponent is going to be Root ZergGirl. If you guys don't know her, she streams on Twitch very regularly and is a master Zerg player. And I believe she plays Terran quite often now recently as well. I actually don't know if she's still continuing her Terran adventures, but she is quite the good player. But one thing that I do have going for me is that Purity in Industry, while it was in the map pool, was quite Terran favored. It is no longer in the map pool. And it looks like I'm going to be just going for my barracks and then the gas. It doesn't look like I'm going to be, yep, rallying my 17th SCV to her natural or her main base. So I'm not going to have too much intel. Zergs on this map do get a bit of an advantage in terms of scouting information just because of the travel distance for the overlords. I actually don't know how much of an advantage that they get because these inhibitor zone generators slow overlords down, and overlords are pretty slow already, so looks like she is going to be scouting my natural expansion, probably just going to be poking in to confirm that I have a natural or not, and then poking out. And does she do that? Uh, uh, just confirms that I actually have a wall. Okay. Oh, and now she's confirmed that I do have the natural expansion. On my end, what do I see? I see nothing. Yeah, I really don't personally like the play of not scouting anymore, but this is what I used to do in the past, and I'm going to be using my Reaper, getting the watchtower just to see if there's anything funky going on, like possibly another overlord in between our bases, or maybe like an early attack coming through that specific path. Going to have my Reaper down, throwing down a grenade, was able to get a hit on one Zergling, and going to be doing the ever so fun Reaper versus Zergling battle at the beginning of the game that, for this game, didn't amount to anything. Not a Zergling kill, not a drone kill, nothing. Looks like the Queen is going to be right at the edge of creep, and since my Reaper has taken a little bit of damage, it looks like I'm going to be a little bit more defensive with it. And because of it, my Reaper cannot go back to the natural expansion and cannot deny this creep tumor, so that's going to be going up without any problem. Looks like I'm going to be able to pick up or prevent the base from going down for just a little bit. Looks like I'm trying to focus down that Zergling, but doing a pretty poor job to do so, or pretty poor job at target firing it. And the hatchery does eventually go down. I do eventually get that Zergling, but because my Reaper overstayed its welcome, it's going to be attacked by these Zerglings, which now have speed, and yeah, speed normally finishes at 3 minutes and 30 seconds, so there's really no excuse for me to overcommit like that. I was able to confirm the third base, which is pretty important, to be fair, and I do have 4 Hellions. I was pretty aware of the fact that these Zerglings could come into my natural expansion and it would be kind of hard for me to deal with. I do see the Overlord coming into my main base. I actually don't know if this was when the Overlord was still... the Overlord speed was still only 50-50 minerals. But that was actually quite a long time ago as well, so... Anyway, going to be getting my third command center down. Looks like I'm supply blocked here as well. Hellions are going to be grouping up towards the third base. Wouldn't have minded if I put them over here at the edge of creep either, but for the now it is just going to be chilling over here. Zerglings are going to be just defending the edge of creep, just making sure that the creeper tumors don't get denied. I'm going to be poking in at the third base, picking off a single Zergling for the time being. Going to be picking off a drone. attacking the queen for a little bit and then just kind of pulling back. And because I've been constantly poking at this queen, looks like it is getting so low and it does go down. Most of the time I go for a follow-up with a liberator and it looks like I did. It's just it's having a coffee break. And apparently I needed coffee before I played this game because this guy's doing nothing. Look at him. Or her, I guess. She's doing nothing. Liberators are really good on this map too because they can just kind of like poke in, unsiege, and then poke out. There's a ton of airspace back here. It looks like I finally have the mental capacity to use my liberator. Going to be getting a few kills. And looks like I'm going to probably, oh no, didn't quite deny that creep tumor. Going to be going super aggro with these Hellions, and I think I was just trying to tax her multitasking there. But she did a nice job defending it, and I lost a lot of units to do that. I should have kept the Hellions for creeps denying, and also to use to defend my third base, but I didn't. And now everything's dead. And now I don't really have that many units. I have 14 Marines and 2 medevacs. Which, to be fair, I mean, it can start attacking. My third base isn't too delayed, but I am floating a bit of energy on my command centers, which could be a decent amount of minerals. Now just going to be throwing down 2. I guess I wanted to keep a little bit of energy in order to scan for creep, which I do right here, which is good. It will make the pushes come a little bit better, and just doing a little bit of stutter step. A couple of Marines go down. Going to be possibly dropping into the main base. Looks like I thought twice about it. Going back to the watchtower, which she does have with a Zergling, and I'm going to be just dropping him off over here. Overlord going to be sacrificing itself to figure out where my units are, going to be re-picking up after killing off that Zergling. One thing that ZergGirl was really good at whenever I used to play her was constantly using Overlords to spread creep at new bases. It's really good for a Zerg player if you do this. It delays the expansions, it gives you like intel of expansion timings, and knowing your opponent's economy. In terms of production, we just now have the +1/+1 finishing. My armory is a little bit late, so I can't get the +1 or +2/+2 right away. Going to be eventually burrowing the mines there, and nice micro by her, only sending in a couple of Zerglings in order to trigger one of them, but the second mine gets a pretty juicy shot there. And the Marines are going to be able to stim forward, get a couple more creep tumor kills, and we're looking okay in this game. It's not too bad. We do start up the +2/+2 pretty on time as well, since the armory was a little bit late there. Going to be continuing to push forward here, and it doesn't look like ZergGirl actually has any banelings, so this actually might be it, and it is, which is pretty good for me. She did have a lot of minerals floating up, but when you're playing Ling Bane, it is pretty hard to spend your minerals consistently. One of your limiting factors is your larva, and if we look at the units tab, she only has a single larva left. So, yep. I think and she was trying to tech into Spire. If she was able to start making the mutas, then it wouldn't have been as much of an issue with larva. It's just she needed as many lings and banes as she could possibly get in order to deal with this bio. Mutas would definitely not help in this situation. But that was a fairly okay game by me. The biggest mistake I saw myself making here was the Hellion Liberator attack. Could have been a little bit cleaner, but overall everything else was pretty okay. Hope you guys all enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.